This is a sample reading. If you ever want to book a reading with me, take this video as a sample of what getting a reading with me is like. Of course, this is just a video. It's going to be a little different. But obviously, you'll know what to expect from me. So hi, I'm Val. I've been reading tarot for 5 years, and I've been reading runes for about 22 years. I'm not going to do rune casting because I don't have a proper way to film it here, but I do rune casts. I can do them for you. I have a Ko-fi. It'll be linked somewhere. If you'd like to tip me for a reading, I'll do it here on TikTok. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be doing tarot as the sample because most people do request tarot readings. Let's say the reading that you booked is what you need to hear. It's my cheapest reading, well, one of my cheapest readings, it's like $15, and it's whatever the universe wants to tell you. So you can take this message as it resonates. If you do actually resonate with this message, if it's like, hey, I know this is a sample reading, Val, but I actually do resonate with what you're saying, then yes, take what resonates. That's how it works. So one thing I'm going to say too, before I begin, when it comes to tarot readings, I might get the cards right, but my interpretation of them might be you might be having a very niche experience. And I'm not saying that because I only have 5 years of tarot reading experience. I'm saying that because any tarot reader, regardless of how long they've been reading, will sometimes get it wrong. So take it as it resonates. Just means if there's a part of it that resonates, but I'm not explaining it the way that it resonates, just take it as it resonates. Know that it's for you in the way that it's meant to be for you, and that the universe heard you and wants to help you, but they are guiding you. You need to listen to what guidance you're receiving. If you're looking for a specific guidance of something, I do have readings for that, for specifics, but this reading specifically is what you need to hear. So it's a general, I'm just pulling from the beyond of what your ancestors or your guides want you to know right now. It's non-questions until after the reading, so you're just booking it with the randomization of whatever the message is. And I'm usually good at it, so again, take it as it resonates, but know that that's what the purpose of this reading is for. So person who's in front of me, what's the message that you need to hear right now? Ooh. Page of Pentacles. King of Wands. It did flip reverse, but I'm not going to count it because it's the way it actually fell. Okay. We are waiting on this last card here. Seven of Cups reversed. Okay. The reason I was waiting for that last card is because we have 2 court cards here, and the court cards usually specify a situation or specific situations where you've already kind of learned the lessons from those different themes. So for the Page of Pentacles, you've already learned how to maintain the Pentacle series. You're just now stepping into knowing how to maintain it for real, doing something with what you've learned. The King of Wands has done it all, but unfortunately, because there's these 2 here, you might be a person who is kind of always starting over with something that you know how to do, that you have the power to do. You might be doubting yourself a lot. You have the 2 of Pentacles here, which means that you do have the know-how and the capabilities, but for some reason you just keep treating yourself like you don't know what you're doing. That's kind of what I'm getting from this already. Whoever you are, I feel like you're kind of overwhelmed with ideas, and so you end up choosing none of them. You kind of get stuck in your whole oh, but what if that's not a good idea? Oh, what if that's not, you're not focusing well enough, even though you have everything right in front of you. And so the message here is about inability to focus, inability to kind of choose something, or choose your path, so to speak. I think part of this has to do with thinking that you'll choose wrong at some point. I think really though, there's no such thing as choosing wrong. You might choose something that's very difficult to get through, or has some lesson in it that you weren't going to see otherwise unless you chose it, but there is no such thing as a wrong path. There's just things that you will not have an easy time with, but you will find your way at some point. No one's ever off their path for too long. Even if you feel like you're off your path, it doesn't mean you actually are. And the Death card flew out, with the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. Typically when I do this reading, I do 6 to 10 cards total, but for this reading, I'm only doing 5. We have the Death card as the final reading, and it is asking you to move forward and to change the way you're doing things. There's a transitional energy with this. And because a lot of this energy here, we have these 2 cards are Scorpio energy, I'm going to just assume this has something to do with Scorpio in general. So maybe this also has to do with Pluto transit. I know Scorpio and Pluto don't really connect, we'll talk about that next time. But I will say that from this energy, I do feel like there is something transforming for you in the current event of things. And I'm not going to give you predictions, but I will say Scorpio probably has something to do with it. So think of a full moon that we might have had in Scorpio, think of a new moon we might have later this year. Whatever it is, there is definitely some transformative property happening here. And what it's doing it on its own. So you don't have to push anything. Right now you might be feeling like you want something to keep you busy, but that's where you might need to change your routine. You're always trying to be busy. Rest a little bit, okay? So that's definitely coming in. I feel like what's interesting here is this Ace of Pentacles on the bottom, because it's nurturing this Page of Pentacles. You already technically have the idea, the motivation, the creativity, but even the money to do the thing that you're trying to do. And quite honestly, maybe you need a new perspective of it. Maybe it's something that you need more perspective of. I don't know. But that is your message, and hopefully it helps somebody here. I'll put this in 2 times speed so you don't have to worry about rushing through it, but hey, take it if it resonates. This is basically how these readings go. They usually are longer, too. This is just a short version for TikTok.